What's going on, everybody? I wasn't planning on making this video, and this is a little bit different than normal videos, but I want to discuss something. So I've seen people on other people's channels. I'm not going to, call anybody out. And I've also seen people on forums talking about other people's channels and talking about how they only give good gun reviews. You never see a bad gun review. We all know people like that on on YouTube. And they never give a bad gun review. Only good ones. Every gun is just the greatest thing in the world. If they reviewed this little 25 automatic, it would be the best gun ever reviewed in the history of man. And I see people, call them out for that, as well they should. Every gun isn't the best gun in the world. This gun has a lot of sentimental value. My dad was never really into firearms, and he gave me that, and that was really the only firearm he ever really owned. But so the sentimental value's there. Is the sentimental value more than a lot of other guns? Yes. Does that make it the greatest gun? No, not by far. The 25 caliber may be phased out because who shoots that thing anymore other than Demolition Ranch and that little fancy one he bought at the pawn shop. But and Demolition Ranch is not who I'm talking about. He doesn't really do gun reviews per se. I love watching Demolition Ranch. But I see these people call these people out. So come to my channel, okay? I'm not telling you come to my channel, but I'm talking about, let's look at my channel. My channel, I am going to tell you the good stuff about the firearm, and then I'm going to tell you the bad stuff about the firearm, which is why if I ever get, millions of subscribers, companies are not going to send me firearms. It's not, they're going to be like, heck no, we ain't sending it to them. That guy's going to dog that thing out if he finds something wrong with it. But I want to talk about some of the comments that I get. When I did my video of the FNX 45 Tactical, which I no longer own, by the way, I talked about how the safety rubbed the inside of my thumb, and there's I don't have fat hands, so the bone right there was just rubbing on that safety like crazy. Because use this 45, I get as high grip. You can see how the meat is like pushed up on the sides. I get as high grip as I can on that firearm to help control that recoil and get follow-up faster shots. Now, if you don't get that high up grip, that safety's probably not a problem. But if you do, you could experience that rubbing on the inside bone of your thumb. It's very uncomfortable. And I see people make all kinds of comments about how I got girly hands and how do I carry my pocketbook and all this stuff too. But in reality, why would I want a firearm that's not comfortable to shoot when there are so many others that are comfortable to shoot? And I also get comments like, well, change your grip. Well, now if that's the only firearm I own, okay, I get it. I can change my grip and adjust it to that one firearm. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that's far from the truth. That is definitely not the only firearm I own. And I'm not going to readjust my grip for one firearm, nor am I going to give that firearm a good review without mentioning the negatives, in my opinion, of that firearm to justify your purchase and make your feelings feel better. That's not the channel I am. I'm not the channel that's going to sugarcoat stuff just so you can sleep better at night. I'm the guy that's going to give you 100% of the truth, whether you like it or whether you don't. Because there may be somebody out there in this great big world that's watching these videos that is fixing to purchase this firearm that may not have noticed that. Like I didn't notice it just holding it in the store, because you don't notice it till you've held it quite a while or you start feeling that recoil rock back and forth. And maybe I can save them $1,200 to $1,400, depending on where you're buying it, on this firearm, that they don't have to regret their purchase, kind of like I did. That's why I do this channel. I don't do this channel to, make sure I tuck you in bed at night. I do this channel so that you can see anything that's great and or negative about a firearm before you go purchase it, so you don't have to waste your money. I waste mine if that be the case. Now, there are great guns out there. I'm not saying there's not. Fast forward to this Trojan 1911, this STI. I've had this gun many, many, many years. There are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of rounds of 9mm through this gun. And before I become a YouTuber, right now I don't really have time just to go out just to shoot for fun. I have a full-time job. I have a main channel. I have this channel. I have a family. I just don't get the time to go out and and just plink for fun or whatever like I used to. But when I did have time to do that before YouTube, if I had other guns I wanted to shoot, or I had new guns I'd bought that I wanted to shoot, I didn't take this gun with me. This gun is so great. Never had a malfunction out of this 1911. This thing is crazy tight. The tolerances on this SDI is crazy, and never had a malfunction out of the box. Never. So there's your good review. SDI Trojan, never had a malfunction. This is an example of one. I don't know everybody else's. Mine has been flawless. But if I took this, as soon as I shot this, I didn't shoot anything else. This is what I shot all day long because it was so great to shoot. It was so accurate. It fit my hand well. I love the VZ grips I had on it. I just love that firearm. So if I took that, I didn't shoot anything else. So, you know, like I said, I don't have time to do it anymore, but there are great guns such as this that, you know, I just enjoy shooting, and I've never had a single issue with that. Now, I have replaced the springs in it periodically and stuff like that, as you should. Most 1911s, Glocks aren't as bad, but 1911s, their springs seem to need to be changed a little bit more. But the moral of the story of this video is, I'm not sugarcoating anything. And if that's what you're looking for, we all know there's plenty of other YouTubers out there, big YouTubers, that'll tell you just how great your purchase was and you did an excellent job. And yeah, I had, you know, 15 malfunctions in the first magazine, but hey, that you got to get them 200 rounds through it, right? And I've had guns I've had to do that. My car P380, it took me 600 rounds to get that thing running good. My Ruger LCP never had a hiccup. And there's a big difference between the price point of those two guns. And that's why I do this channel. Because why waste your money on a car P380 that takes 500 to 600 rounds to break in? And I'm not the only one that had that, you know, break-ins period. When you could just buy a gun that's half the price and it'll run like a top. Now, the sights aren't as good, but it will still run like a top. And 380 is expensive, which is crazy. I've never understood why 380, a smaller bullet than a 9mm, is more expensive than 9mm, but it is. So why waste your money on something that, you know, you can get cheaper and not have to do that 600 round break-in period as much? I would put, you know, at least a couple hundred rounds through it, make sure it's going to run, but, you know, I wouldn't worry about a 600 round break-in, because I thought there was something wrong with the gun. I've also owned, you know, $2,000 less Bears 1911s that I never got to run, ever. They malfunction all the time, and I never got that gun to cycle right. So, you know, and then I've had cheap guns like High Points. I hate High Points. They're horrible. They're ugly, but you don't get that many malfunctions out of them. And that's what this channel's going to be about. The truth. Not saving your feelings or, you know, justifying your purchase. It's going to be about the truth. If you want the truth, I'm going to tell it to you. If you're worried about your feelings getting hurt, you might want to go find one of the big guys that's, you know, gets their stuff for free and tells you what you want to hear. Appreciate you watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Maybe we'll see you guys next time if you don't want your feelings hurt.